Do I look pretty? Oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty and witty. And let's contact the podcast crew. But if I open a web page, let's see. Oh, everything's dark. Oh, hey, there's TC.
I mean, how awesome is my sweet little elephant cocoon I got here?
It is an elephant. I feel like singing songs from Moulin Rouge.
Hey, is that Greg from Crank Revolution Podcast?
It is Greg from the Crank Revolution Podcast.
Oh my gosh.
This was working earlier. I don't know why it's not now.
Are those gym shorts? I think those are gym shorts.
Hey, you know what? He's working
those
from
are
home.
track pants. Those are track pants.
You know what? Don't make fun.
Welcome now to the Crank Revolution Podcast, your source for cycling shenanigans. Listen now to our hosts, the purveyors of pedals, as we teach you more about cycling every single episode. So sit right back, pop a cold one, and enjoy our show.
I'm gonna
There we go. Oh, I got you.
There we go.
I'm gonna touch GC. Ready? Oh, nope. I can't get inside of his fort.
Oh, very good. Very good.
So what are you guys drinking?
What do you got, TC, in your fort? Is it a juice box? Oh, I was hoping it was a juice box. I was really hoping
In your
for a
fort?
juice box.
I didn't realize you had a blanket over your head.
Good old elephant blanket.
Which eyebrow is this? I'm confused by my own face. It's this one.
That would be your left one.
Yes. Okay. That one. TC is right there. All right. Guys, thanks for joining us here on the Crank Revolution Podcast. We're doing video today, which is a new experience for all of us. Greg Berry helped put together all the amazing content and figuring all this out. What are you making faces for? It's all your fault.
Don't
Greg.
blame me. Don't blame me. This is all going to go catastrophically off a cliff, and I don't want to be the one to blame.
But this is our first video podcast, and we hope all of you are well. This is a unique situation. For the first time you can see our faces, I'm Jeremy.
I'm TC.
Merc over here.
I'm the smart ass Greg. Hi.
Well, we wanted to reach out to you guys. We apologize. It's been a while, but I think we're all figuring things out and adjusting. For those of you who don't know, we are recording all from our homes, of course, because we are here in Illinois, where about a week ago, we all went to shelter in place. It's been a very strange life for some of us, but we wanted to share some of our stories. So maybe we can all find some commonality in this time. So how have you guys been doing? TC, it looks like you're in a fort of some sort.
Yes, I'm in my elephant blanket fort.
He's been watching a lot of Community, so he's making a blanket fort now.
Well, so for me, the bike shops in Illinois are considered essential. So we've been open every day except for Tuesday, like normal. So I've still been going to the shop, limited hours. I actually did commute in the other day, riding the Creo Evo. Ooh, that's a lot of fun.
Took an e-bike. I never thought I'd see it.
But so, like today in the bike shop, no one showed up, which this time of year is very rare for us. And so it's just been kind of a odd isolation where I leave the house, but I still don't interact with anyone. And I'm in a space that's equivalent to my home, which is the bike shop.
Yeah, it is kind of a big empty space right now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But
So how much TV have you watched?
And so I'm on season 16 of The Simpsons currently.
Oh,
I think I'm about 4 months in on just, idly watching episodes from episode 1. So
this is something you're making progress more on.
We're a
now,
little
but you
bit past
started.
halfway. Yeah.
How many seasons are there now? 30 something? Is that what I'm hearing?
30. There are
All right,
30
so you got a little in
seasons.
reserve
Wow.
there.
I don't know. I enjoyed watching Black Panther with you last Sunday.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
But what about you, Merc? It looks like you're currently in a bunker basement somewhere, and you're
Close.
stockpiling hangers when it should have been toilet paper.
Hold on. Did you take Fallout video games very seriously, and that's why you're already in one of the vaults?
Maybe. You try e-learning a child for a week and a half now. You'll see
Yeah.
why you're down in the basement.
You're just hiding.
Just why? I don't understand common denominator.
Did you run upstairs and tell your family I have something very important to do and run to the basement?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just tell
Well,
Morgan.
that's every night I do that. It's like I got something very important to do in the basement. Don't disturb me.
So
Just tell
Merc,
Morgan I'm an engineer and I still don't understand fractions. So she doesn't need them.
I know we've got listeners all over the United States and some in other countries as well. And everyone's kind of going through a different experience. In this particular case, e-learning, like my daughter, I called her up to ask her how I was doing. She's like, they kind of gave up on that. And I was thinking, oh, geez, they're not teaching high school anymore. But I did get a phone call today from her school district saying they're restarting e-learning on the 31st.
Yeah. Well, they're going through spring break.
Yeah,
And then I just got
that's true.
the email, which kind of put shivers up my spine saying they'll start e-learning again after spring break. I'm like, no, the schools will be fine. They can go back.
I think that's denial. I think that's the first step.
Yeah.
Of our stages of grief here.
Now you're wishing you had sent her away to some boarding school.
Why didn't she take up hockey like I told her to?
So other than Merc being in his bunker and TC in his elephant fort, Greg, what's been going on with you over there? You look like you're in a very stylish place.
Thank you. Actually, I've got my new birthday present right over here. My brother was kind enough to get me a cycling desk. I can connect my iPad or sit my iPad up in there. I got my laptop there. The only downside is no good fan placement. So I still sweat like a dog. Just horribly so on this. So
Didn't you just bolt a fan to the bottom side?
Yeah. Oh no, not up in that corner. I think you can get one.
Well, but no, you want the wind coming up from the bottom, keep you nice and cool, as opposed to up top, and then it gets too close.
Yeah, but he wears skirts though when he rides, so you don't want that to happen.
First of all,
Greg?
Merc, I tell you way too much. You promised you weren't going to share that photo.
Sorry.
Second of all, I've only had this thing for 6 hours, so I haven't really tested it out completely yet.
What a useful gift though for right now, isn't it?
I was so excited. But for my day-to-day, I already work from home. So there's really no impact for me other than the fact that most of my colleagues now work at home and it takes longer to sometimes get responses. But beyond that, it's no different. It's just I'm here all day doing my thing. The only difference is I'm not visiting you guys in order to keep my sanity. So I write a lot as a benefit.
Well, one thing I really love, though, is, Greg, you did recently have a birthday, and actually it was the first time I'd ever been on Zoom for video, and you had a nice little party in isolation, didn't you?
We did. We had a mix of my coworkers, mix of cycling folk, and my best friend, who I mentioned on my episode, who crashed into that car when he was tied to the seat post. I hope he's listened to that episode already. But yeah, so we ended up just doing shots and drinking, and eventually things just got a little out of hand, and then Zoom cut us off. They're like, "You're done." So
you're still young enough to get away with that.
That's a proper birthday, in my opinion.
So Zoom was kind of like a bar, and they bounced you out because you drank too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept drinking afterwards, I'll be honest there. The Malort flowed freely.
Oh, why would you
Excellent
ever
choices.
let it flow, period?
Excellent choices.
Well, I think we all took a couple days to really try to figure out how we can fit in. And, I know the news cycle out there right now is one of those where you can't really watch news all day, or it's not very good for your mental health. So one thing we thought about, though, is what gave me a lot of warmth and hope lately is getting to see so many people through video conferencing and things like that. So that's why we kind of want to do that for you, is to be that little escape that I hope our podcast has always been. So you have something else to think about too and enjoy.
Zoom, the non-sponsored sponsor of Crank Revolution.
Providing video today. One thing I'd like to say, though, is we're all dealing with something different here. Obviously, TC's going to the shop constantly. I am kind of in this bunker area that has all of our video gear or audio gear.
Centurion helmet
together. Centurion helmet, tons of stuff.
You're ready in case people want to go medieval on your house.
Oh, yeah.
Or Renaissance? I don't know.
One thing I'd say, though, is I know that a lot of us have had some more anxiety. It's just hard to follow when you go through swings of emotion. I want everyone to know that's okay. I think we're all going through that, too, and it's a good thing to say to each other. I have recently challenged Greg to a steps challenge while in shelter in place. And so far, Greg, I'm terribly defeating you. I think when you joined, it's already beating you by 20-something thousand steps.
I think when you sent me the original challenge, you were already 3 times my weekly step count.
Now, for those of you, though,
we've been in the
3
studio.
times you're...
Oh, because you know what? Here's how I do
He's
things.
doing laps, and
All
I'm
right.
on my laptop answering emails all day.
right. Jeremy, how many steps are you at right now today?
Let me see. Oh, of course I can't tell because it's my glasses on. Oh, there we go.
because it's on the dog.
Thankfully, there's a bike headlight right here.
Only 4,000 today. Only 4,000. And I didn't wear my garment for the first 2 hours.
So 4,000. You've walked almost. I think that's the equivalent of 2 miles. I remember my
and I wasn't
calculation.
wearing it. I was on the phone with Greg this morning, and I looked down, and I'm like, oh, I'm not even wearing my watch. And I had been.
You
doing
put it
laps.
on the dog, didn't you?
No.
3 steps for
Oh,
me.
all right.
No, like Zwift, my
Oh,
kitchen.
Greg, you have 3 steps today.
No. It was free steps because
Ah.
his weren't counting.
That's true.
But in my case, I don't know. I've always been a person that just has a lot of energy. And I think what it is a lot of us can relax. And then when we're told we can't go out, that's when it kind of gets that nervous energy. So we don't have a huge studio, right? But I've actually made a course. I think tomorrow I'm going to start adding the roof is lava or the floor is lava.
Is it a Zwift segment?
No,
or,
but I
Strava
wish you could
segment yet?
see Romulus is trying to eat my arm, our studio dog here. But I've actually
You need to
made a
make an
little
indoor
course.
time trial inside of your house.
Well, I've made
That's
a little
what you really-
indoor course that actually
No, a
cuts around the
triathlon,
bathroom.
an indoor triathlon.
What is he going to
Flop-
swim in the shower?
Flop
I have
into
a
that
shower, not a
bathtub.
bathtub. Yeah, I don't have
Exactly.
a bathtub. I have a shower. But I've been doing lots of laps, and I will get you, Gregory. But for those of you, though,
You're at 30,000 steps, by the way, and I'm at 14,000.
I haven't uploaded yet. I haven't.
On the week?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
we
not
did-
in this competition.
I know.
then.
You know what, TC, you got such a bigger space to
Well,
walk.
but no, I also rarely do less than 10,000 steps in a day.
Well, Greg and I also didn't start
Just
until
period,
2
yeah.
days ago or something. I don't even know.
Hey, Greg. You
No,
get-
it was already doing the weekly count. But I mean, my foot is literally where I would normally sit on a daily basis. So
what if you
here's
just
why I
tap
don't
your
get any
feet?
steps. It doesn't my wrist, man? It doesn't work that way.
Put
So
it on
I
the
sit-
ankle.
I mean, since I finished work, I rode the bike, and then I came over, I set this up, and now I'm here. So I've traveled a total of like 5 feet.
Well, one thing I'd say, though, I know the situation is all different all over the world. I think it's Spain and a couple others that have banned cycling, some for different reasons of possible injury, things like that. People can still cycle. I know Lori Lightfoot in Chicago, though, did say they don't want to on the beach and various paths and state paths and parks.
They closed all those.
Yeah. So I guess the thing we would do, though, is if you guys are thinking and still able to get out there and actually bike, let's cut to TC from In the Mechanic.
From In the Mechanic's Mouth. Why do you
Wow,
always do
it's
that?
still going that way, huh?
I saw him in his tent.
And now it's a video cast, so now you get it really close when he says that.
So anyhow,
I'm
guys,
here
let's
on
cut-
PC's molar telling you about the plaque buildup I'm seeing back here. Back to you guys in the studio.
but we'll try again. If you guys want to get that bike out, let's cut to TC and From the Mechanic's Mouth.
He got it right. Okay, serious time. All right. Hey, everybody. TC here, and today we're going to talk about basically like a drop test. So when you get that bike, down from the ceiling of the garage or, just dragged out of the basement, and you want to go ride it for the first time that year, one, put some air in the tires first. Hopefully it holds there. On the side of the tire, I'll tell you about how much tire pressure to put in, put some air in the tires, and then, just pick up the bike gently and just drop it. 6 inches, just to listen to it. And this is one where if you have me as a mechanic, a lot of things that I do are based on the sound that I hear, the sound of the wheels turning. That's a really good cue for what's mechanically right or wrong. And so, if there's like this low thud, that's the most common one that you'll hear a lot of times. That's either like one of the wheels loose in the frame or even the headset being a little bit loose. So always check those wheels, make sure they're nice and tight. If you know how to adjust the headset, it's a good time to kind of check that then. Otherwise, go on to your bike shop. They can definitely help you out and make sure that bike's good and safe to ride for the start of the year. And that's from
You
the
got to do
mechanic's
this
mouth.
more often.
And that's From the Mechanic's Mouth. Yes. So that is a very good point because a lot of times we do kind of diagnose at the shop. You can just drop something gently and you can hear all of those things. I know that at bike shops that we've all been a part of, and often thing something you'll do if you take a check is, squeeze the brakes. See if something feels weird. Spin that front tire, squeeze the brake. Rear tire, spin the brake. And then just kind of put your wheel between your legs and give the handlebars a back and forth. If they start to move, they're not tightened. It's not
And you should
necessarily
do that
safe.
when you put the front wheel between your legs. You can go with the rear, but then you're just going to steer real weird.
Well, yeah, it's making sure the ball bearings didn't seize up. That's what it is.
That the feral mice didn't come and eat your ball bearings.
Oh, those darn mice.
But down by your bike garage, Mark, what are
Yes.
some things that you've seen coming in for repairs, and what are some common things people should be looking for on their bikes?
And like TC, like you guys were both saying, is a lot of people are just coming out and going, oh, I got nothing else to do. Hey, there's a bike in the corner. I think I'll bring it to the shop and see if they can fix it. And it's mainly the same things, flat tires, just general tightening down of the bolts really helps out tremendously. Like TC said, if you drop the bike and it makes odd sounds, more than likely something is loose on the bike.
Yeah.
And so I like how, and we're prefacing this, I mean, we haven't identified what a normal sound of a bike drop is. So I think we need fully work where we drop bikes. And this is,
It's
we
more
start
of a
to
thunk than a kaplow. Is that what
Should
we're
we
saying?
More of
actually-
like 90 decibels at a high shrill? No? Okay.
And we
My
could
bikes
actually
are
get a,
different.
we could get a decent catalog of bike adjustments and how they're wrong based on the drop sound.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Coming
actually,
to you, YouTube near you.
New segment.
I think since I have some board time too, what I can do is just set up the microphones and then drop a bike with loose heads, drop it with loose, quick release. And we can make it definitely a supercut, maybe a rap video with TC and his elephant fort.
Yeah, but you have to do a steel bike, an aluminum bike, and a carbon bike because
Oh,
they all
no.
make 3 distinct sounds.
Why are you discriminating against titanium?
Because I
Because
forgot.
titanium is soundless.
What about magnesium?
Magnesium bikes?
Because nobody makes it anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, what
'cause all
about
the
graphite?
factories burned down?
That's true.
All burned down.
Were they as exciting as a
It was
fireworks factory going up?
spectacular as they burned up.
Was it a green hue or a blue hue as the flames went up?
So magnesium would be more white.
White. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and don't throw
Similar to
water on that
phosphorus.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
that's not
baking
gonna
soda.
help
That's a
you.
lot of baking soda.
So in this particular case, though, something I wanted to kind of bring up is we've seen the bicycle industry change a little bit. I know for us, we've seen some delays in suppliers that have countries that have shut down for a period of time. We've seen a lot of other changes, though, and something's been really heartwarming is a lot of different companies changing what they make and how they do it. I'm sorry, guys. I have to pause. He is literally gnawing my arm, and I don't know why.
Because you don't feed them,
I'm gonna leave
apparently.
it. No, I do.
No, dude.
What?
No, dude.
Gotta poop, gotta poop, gotta
All right. I'll be right back. You guys can keep going though, because he's on top of my back. He's All right, he's being insistent.
So have you guys exhausted your Corona supply?
Yeah, I left my last 3 over at at the bike shop, so enjoy.
Oh, we got a lot of beer at the bike shop right now.
We're
Well,
more
you
of a
hit it on
brewery at this
Sunday.
point.
I hit it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was in the other cooler.
We have 2 fridges. They're 5 feet from each other,
Too far.
and
Way
one
too
doesn't have
far.
regain in it anymore, which I'm kind of bummed about. That's just pretty delicious.
Yeah.
Hi.
Anyway, so at that point, I realized Jeremy was nothing but an idiot. Oh, hey, buddy.
Oh yeah. Hey, welcome back to me. Wait, can I welcome my own self back? Is that bad? Way to go.
It's a little
No.
egotistical, but I'll
like
allow
I
it.
it.
mean,
one
you
of
are
you
the
did.
host,
Oh yeah, that's true.
producer, whatever title you want to
Yeah,
use.
all
Director.
So,
Yeah.
so last we left off, though, we were talking about some of the great things that we're seeing of not only heartwarming stories, but also ways that companies in the bicycle industry are actually changing to be helpful during these times. And Mark, you were telling me something earlier.
Yeah, there's a company called Orocase, which I apologize if I absolutely massacred that name. But they produce bike travel bags and bike bags. And what they did is they revamped their factory, and they are producing face masks. So they're donating to all the hospitals who are running out of them right now.
Well, I've seen that where hockey companies making face masks are now making face shields. Dyson vacuum cleaners. I always thought horribly over-engineered, maybe because I couldn't afford one.
Yeah, because they're
But-
amazing.
But now
They
they
are
are
amazing.
they're jumping into the respirator game, which is a game changer. We've seen that Elon
Yeah.
Musk and Tesla,
And they're going to cost 3 times the price from anybody else because
But
of
it's
Dyson.
It's the smaller motor that works so well.
But you see, they can say ours have the best airflow, and I'd probably believe them. I have seen a Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, that's fair.
No vacuum should be able to do. So beyond
I
that,
won't be
Huh?
I won't be satisfied till every doctor and nurse is just wearing a motorcycle helmet everywhere. It's just like,
yeah,
hello, I'm your doctor. I'm here to help. And then you just
Well,
put it
see,
back down.
But you bring the shield up, which is a problem.
Yeah.
Well, you have to make eye contact so they know what your eyes look like. And then you put it right back down. You
Well,
continue
then
talking
Then it
to
should
them.
have like a shield that you can slide over and back.
No,
Yeah, like-
it'll go full Formula
Somebody
One
just
where
knock
those
on the
pull
mask
off
and just
covers
slide it
once in a
over.
while.
Pull covers off. I'm sorry. All I have is Monty Python and the Holy Grail when you said that, and just like the Fu Manchu mustache coming out the bottom.
I could see that. But we actually have some nurses and doctors actually part of our riding club who are
yeah.
on the front lines taking care of a lot of this right now. And I love cheering them on, and I look forward to buying them all several rounds of drinks when this is all over.
And they deserve every single one of them.
And it won't be Malort because I respect them. The rest of you get Malort.
I appreciate the Lord.
How about old granddad? I got a bottle sitting behind me.
Yeah. How long's it been there? 15 years? Because you just don't want to drink it.
When he bought the
Darn
bottle,
close to it.
When he bought the bottle, it was just labeled son. It's so old, it's become a grandfather.
Well, I know one thing that breaks up the cycle for me because it's really hard to watch the news because every channel is going. So I know it's always nice to stumble on cute little stories. And one that I saw is Spain is under more of a lockdown than I'd say we are at this point. And it might be PTSDs from other thing we've seen on the news, but cars rolled down the middle of the street like a cobbled street, and there were buildings on both sides, and residents were leaning out the windows, and they all unload. And I'm thinking, oh no, what are we going to see now? And all the cops whipped out guitars, started dancing and singing with elderly people up in the balconies. And I thought, God, that's just the kind of thing I need to see right now. Just nice, positive, heartwarming things.
This one's not so much heartwarming, but it is funny. I saw an image on the internet of 2 cop cars in Italy that managed to run into each other despite the fact there's no road traffic.
Were the Lamborghinis? It was not their Lamborghini.
It was not the Lamborghinis,
Okay.
but only in Dubai would that happen. But it was just like, really, guys, like same team, and there's no one out here.
Did they show the jousting sticks that were outside because they were bored?
No, it was at the front end. Like they went into each other. Like they were both went to make a U-turn at the same time into each other.
So I got to watch one of our riders was coming to the shop to pick up a bike, and then I see his car pull up and then stop, and then I notice, oh, there's a police car behind him. He had gotten pulled over in the bike shop parking lot, right in full view of the windows. And so I'm working with somebody else and like going through, and then he walks in, he's like, hey, I just had fun. Saying that, the police officer like told him, was very upfront. It's like, yeah, I really should be writing you a ticket, but I just can't in good conscience, charge anyone a fine right now.
Right.
So slow it down, just do it better. And so I mean, there's that. Whether it's he got off of a speeding ticket because of all of this chaos.
Well, that's
And
the thing,
chaos is
everyone's
a little strong
human.
term, but yeah.
Everyone's human here, and I think that's the thing. It's like, Greg, I love that you brought up the first responders. I know we all have either friends or we have riders or even family members like myself who have nurses or are in hospitals doing amazing things. So guys, seriously, hats off to you. So guys, what we're going to do though is let's bring some normalcy back to one of the greatest cycling stories of all time. Let's cut to Merck with Triumph and Woe.
Welcome back to another tale of triumph and woe. This one's about Eddie Merck, my all-time favorite racer ever. Raced from 1965 to 1978. Nickname was the Cannibal. And the reason why he got this nickname, because he would never let anybody else win a race that he entered. As a matter of fact, his very first race he entered as a professional racer, he won. Well, why not? Because it's Eddie. And then the following year, his first appearance at Milan-San Remo, he won that too. Because again, why not? He won in a 3-up sprint among seasoned professionals. And then he finished that season, which was 1966, with 20 wins overall. Not many pro racers nowadays can get 20 wins in their career. And then the following season, why not? I'm going to win another Milan-San Remo. Oh, I'll add that at the end of the year. I'll throw a world championship on that. So he got the rainbow jersey. Which was really cool is that he was the only third rider at the time to actually win the amateur version, which was a year before, and then he won the professional version the following year. Unbelievable. Then he switched teams to Fiemme in 1968, which he rode for them for 2 years. But what was really cool with 1968, he won 32 races of the 125 that he entered, which included the Paris-Roubaix. And then 1969, he won the Tour of Flanders, won Milan-San Remo for the third time, and then won Liège-Bastogne-Liège, which gave him 3 of the cycling monuments, which includes Milan-San Remo, Tour of Flanders, Paris-Roubaix, Liège-Bastogne-Liège, and Tour of Lombardy. And then 1969 was also his first Tour de France win. So it's starting a precedent now. And then 1970 saw him win the Tour of France and the Giro, which no one wins 2 Grand Tours, 3 weeks of racing in the same year. And then 1971, he transferred to a new team, the Maltini team, which is probably the most famous teams that he's been on. Everyone knows the burnt orange jersey, which is just the coolest jersey ever. And then in 1971, Eddie won the Tour de France. And he also won his second World Championship jersey, which is awesome. Then in 1972, he once again pulled out a Giro and Tour double alongside another Milan-San Remo, Liège-Bastogne-Liège, and Tour of Lombardy, which at this point gave him all 5 of the monuments. Now, he not only won all 5 of the monuments once in his career, but twice. Because, again, why not? Because he's the greatest cyclist ever. So, just because this wasn't enough, he decided that to break our record on the velodrome. The one thing a lot of people don't know about Eddie Merckx is that he was a prolific track racer on top of being a road cyclist. He won many 6-day races in his career also, which is 6 days of racing on the velodrome. Now let's go to the 1973 season. He entered and won 4 of the classics that year, including Paris-Roubaix. Again, if that wasn't enough, he also won both the Giro and the Vuelta de España. Now, he forego the Tour de France that year just because he felt like it, but I always often wondered if he entered the Tour de France that year, if he would be the only cyclist ever to win all 3 Grand Tours in one year. Now, that would be an insane feat that nobody would ever be able to accomplish or survive. Then we'll go up to 1974. This is probably the greatest feat that a cyclist can ever earn. He earned not only the Giro and Tour de France wins that year, but he also won the World Championship, which is called the Triple Crown in cycling. And not only was he the only one at the time to win it, he still is one of 2 cyclists to have the Triple Crown of cycling. The other one is Stephen Roche, which he won back in the 1980s. It's a phenomenal feat. But by 1975, he was still winning, taking his 6th Milan-San Remo and his 5th Liège-Bastogne-Liège. But unfortunately, he could not win his 6th Tour de France title. This is when, if you remember back earlier, Triumph and Woes, this is when he got punched in the gut by a crazy fan on the Puy de Dôme, which kind of caused a little bit of an issue, internal bleeding, blah, 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 type of thing. You know, little things. But that didn't stop him from winning. It stopped him from winning Grand Tours. He still kept winning after that season. He won another Milan-San Remo. 7 Milan-San Remos. It's crazy. Nobody has ever won that many Milan-San Remos ever again. And he finally decided to retire in 1978, which I think a lot of people stood up and applauded. 525 wins was his grand total of all the races that he won over his career, which included 5 Tour de France wins, which included every single race jersey that was offered at the time, 5 Giro d'Italia wins, and again, that was all the jerseys that they offered at the time. Also, 1 Volta de España win, 7 Milan San Remo wins, 3 Paris-Roubaix wins, 3 World Championships, and as I said earlier, an hour record of 49.431 kilometers. Now, that hour record was done on a steel bike, 32 spoke wheels, and all old technology. Just, he's an insane rider and one of my favorite riders. And as I said before, not only did he win all 5 monuments once, but twice, and many other smaller races that most people only win once, and he's won multiple times. But that is the story of Eddie Merckx. And again, that's a brief story of Eddie Merckx, because he has so much more to be told. And eventually I will tell all those stories. But for now, have a pleasant day. And we'll see you again. Stay healthy. And we'll talk again. Bye.
Burke, thank you for doing the Triumph Woe on us, because to tell me, is he one of your favorite heroes of all time?
Oh, he is my favorite hero of all time. I mean, he's got 5 Tour de France wins. He's won countless world championships. He is a triple crown holder, which is world championship, Tour de France, and Giro. I mean,
He also won the Tour de France and won every jersey.
So, like TC said, it was the first year of the white jersey. Won it. Got the yellow jersey. Got the green points jersey. And he got the overall yellow jersey.
That's incredible.
Come on, give us one more. Give us one more.
Once, so he got really hot in the later stages of the race.
Was it a yellow polka dot? What did he get the polka dot jersey too?
Yeah, polka dot, green, yellow,
white. And white.
So my thing is, because I don't follow racing that much, does he have to wear all of the jerseys simultaneously?
Yeah, he had 4 jerseys.
He had 4 jerseys on. They tried to slow him down, but it just didn't work. Yeah.
Is it just the default and you go with the yellow just because that's the
that is correct. So the highest rank, you wear that jersey. So if
was it yellow with polka dots?
That would be cool though. But
like itty bitty teeny weeny yellow polka dot cycling jersey.
Yeah. Oh, stop.
All right. So guys, something we'll hit real quick. I think we've all had across the years the planning for like a zombie apocalypse, things like that. And everyone's first instinct was grabbing toilet paper. Do y'all have enough toilet paper first?
Yes.
All right. What was the one item that you didn't stock up on that you kind of wished you did stock up? For example, for me, I was running out of hair product like the day before the shelter at home. And I thought, that's no problem. Now, like, I had to mat it down with conditioner because it's just turning into this massive poof ball.
Why do you need hair product if you're quarantined at home?
Who do you have to impress?
Happy.
Rob.
It's my version of makeup, kind of.
Coffee was mine.
Coffee? You don't have enough coffee, Mark?
I'm getting a little worried. I'm down to my last 2 pounds.
We've got 5 pounds at the shop if you want it.
Yeah.
What are we going to barter and trade right then? I want some hangers.
I'll give you lots of hangers. And plastic bags too.
TC, you should throw some Girl Scout cookies in there too.
We got feed your own Girl Scout cookies back to you.
Yeah, when I sheltered at home, that's the one thing I realized is I didn't take any Girl Scout cookies with me, which is good because I'm a type 2 diabetic. But TC, you do have a lion's share. You could barter and trade those for anything.
I mean, I don't own them, but yes, they are in the bike shop.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. That's what I hear.
If the cookie father finds out, she will break kneecaps.
Wait, the cookie father, she will break kneecaps?
Yeah, it's 2020, Greg. Gender's
come on, Greg.
It's fluid.
I was having a hard time just following. There was a lot of changes in that sentence. Of all the things I have in the house, actually, I had everything I needed. I had 3 heads of cabbage. Like, I know St. Patty's Day was just around the corner, but wow.
Yeah, there's
I'll
not
be
that
eating
many
cabbage for the next 3 weeks. Huh?
Oh my gosh. You better open some windows, man. I know if it's me. Oh, dear God. 3 heads of cabbage. That's like a year's worth of cabbage, Greg.
That is not a year's worth of cabbage.
Well, people. Were you drinking at the grocery store?
Do I tell you how to shop? No, I don't. I don't appreciate the attack, Merc. But the benefit to having cabbage is that it is a more natural recycling way of using toilet paper.
Is it purple cabbage or white cabbage?
Green.
Oh, because purple cabbage you can use as a pH
cabbage.
indicator, and you could be doing science in your kitchen.
I do science in my kitchen. My most ingenious way to pass the time one day, because I was cleaning and I was bored, I looked at my stove and went, when was the last time I cleaned the sides of that?
Well, officially in the studio, we seem to have a light bulb out, and it takes more than one person to change a light bulb. I need my dog's help. You guys chill for a minute. I'll be right back.
How many cyclists does it take to change a light bulb?
So I will say, Greg, you did bring up something brilliant earlier, things that you're doing to pass the time. So besides cleaning the sides of your stove you've never seen before, what else are you doing for the time?
I'm cooking a lot, actually. I've watched a lot of Alton Brown, and I figured out like 7 different ways to prepare saltine crackers, which I didn't know was a thing. I am attempting to make Spam chili. I feel like this should be a thing, but I also have sardines, and I'm feeling like there's got to be a combo in there. Some red beans, sardines, and Spam, and Chihuahua cheese.
I am so happy we don't have to turn down the invitation since we're not coming over.
Very
Chihuahua is how you
confused
spell
by
it.
that.
Chihuahua cheese?
Chihuahua.
You have to
That's how you
break
spell it, Chihuahua.
change. I say Chihuahua. That's what we've always said.
It is,
Chihuahua.
yeah, Chihuahua.
If you want
You have to challenge the establishment, Merc, if you want to make progress in this world, okay? And that's what I'm doing. One awful stomachache at a time.
Yes.
It's just the Spam will break down, and I don't think it's gonna blend well. Pork and fish, I like both of them separate.
And to call Spam pork is,
Am I the only one who likes Spam?
I like Spam, but I can only do it like once a year.
No,
I mean, for the
Spam.
record, you've got Spam. So you've got pork, you've got beef, you've got fish, you've got duck, you've got venison, and then you've got the other meat, Spam.
What?
Well, but then what is the generic Spam made out of from Aldi? Because I've eaten that too. That's what I
You remember those old?
There's the Aldi version Spam.
Kind of, yeah.
There's something that's Spam
meat
that's
paste.
below Spam.
No, Aldi's it's probably Spam and just produced for Aldi's.
But I mean, that goes against all of my jokes of, it's just the Aldi version of X, where it's just like one step below.
Sorry, I have relatives that works for Aldi, so
I know.
If you've ever been inside of a gymnast training yard, and they've got no, inside of a gymnast training gym. Yeah, no, I'll start that one over.
That might be a hard one to come back from.
Okay, so
I've been drinking like beer too.
Wow. All right. So, Greg, thank you. I'm glad to hear you're increasing your apron skills. We're not going to reference any other ones. Merc, what new habits are you picking up to pass the time?
Nothing like that. That's awesome.
Jeremy, we're going to need like 5 minutes to get through this one.
Hey, Merc, what are you doing to pass the time? What new pastimes have you found? Are you just arranging all the hangers in certain color order up there, or what's going on?
I've already done that. That was the first day. I'm finally cleaning out the bike garage, which is in desperate need because TC would understand this. Old bike shops have a collection of crap.
Yeah.
Junk all over the place. So I just been cleaning it out. And of course, I found a frame.
Oh, no.
That's going to become a new adventure bike.
So, TC, do you have any new fun habits or things that you've done?
And so, I've really been focusing on a nice morning routine. And so espresso, and then I start my crossword puzzle every morning, like clockwork. And then also actually knife sharpening. So
nice.
My family has I'm living with my family right now. So we have a wide variety of kitchen knives there's a knife that's older than me. And it's something that I remember as a kid, and there's a giant chip in the top of the blade. So I get to refinish that, and I'm excited about it.
Nice.
So that's,
Are you accepting the sharpening jobs? Because I can send you a whole truckload myself.
A truckload? That's a lot.
Yeah, you have a truckload of knives.
Well, I kind of.
And you're in a basement. Where's the tarps, Mark? Where's the tarps, Dexter?
Oh no, Common Core is ruined, Mark. He's broken.
I'm broken from e-learning and Common Core. I got a big collection of kitchen knives. I like kitchen knives. Eventually, I'll get that Damascus one I want.
Oh, Damascus
yeah.
steel. Now we're getting real.
Yeah.
You can tell who the knife nerds are.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
You're getting there,
totally.
Greg.
You guys want to talk
Damascus too.
lightsaber hilts? Let's talk lightsaber hilts.
Well, I do think that TC kind of nailed it, as he said, routine. I know the first couple of days of shelter in place were very hard, and I started realizing I'd look up and I'd realize it's 7 p.m., but I thought it was 1 p.m., and every day that compounds. Then the next thing you know, I've always been a night owl. I'd notice that all of a sudden, okay, it's 4 a.m. and I'm awake, and then another night I wouldn't go to bed till 2. Finding that routine really does help. So for me, wake up in the morning, go sit on the deck. We can do that, drink some coffee. Every time I get on a Zoom thing with friends, I've been coming up with fun costumes. I realize that you guys are all functional adults, and I'm apparently not. Because besides making videos, I've been just playing with my hat collection lately. So sometimes I might go with
George R.R. Martin.
like this with a puffy pirate
George R.R.
shirt.
Martin.
That was yesterday with nice little leather ties.
No, you need you need a leather
Sometimes
jacket
I'll
and leather
jump-
chaps with that as well.
And
The best part is he can't hear
my
us.
leather jacket, playing the
Oh, that's
flute.
it. There you go. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Now, see, those are just the hats, but I have whole costumes and motifs to go with it. I did wear my armor the other day to go out and get the mail. Someone did see me do that, and I think that scared them more about sheltering at home. He's driving home probably and going, "Oh man, I had a rough day, but I saw a Roman." So we all find different ways to cope. And guys, we're going to bring you more of these little videos. We're going to make more of the best of all of these situations. But first, know that we care about you guys all. Any final thoughts, guys?
Ride more bikes.
I'm hoping to read The Mechanical Horse, the history of how the bike changed America.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's nice.
Maybe we can have a story time with Greg if we can get the publishers right.
I'm not making much progress, though.
We were too busy cooking. But guys, we want to thank you for joining us. Keep an eye on all the new releases. And if there's something you'd like us to talk about and you're spending your time watching us, please email us at crankrevolutioncycling@gmail.com or find us on Facebook. All right? Talk to you guys soon.
Stay healthy.
Ride more bikes on Zwift.
Oh, my friends, that has been another episode of the Crank Revolution podcast. First thing we'd like to say is thank you. Thanks for being our listeners and sharing the show with your friends. Leave us a rating or a review wherever you get your podcasts. We love the feedback. You can reach out to us by email at crankrevolutioncycling@gmail.com and find us on Facebook at Crank Revolution.
He's not Groucho Marx. I shot an elephant in my pajamas last night. What I was doing in my pajamas, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I got through all of Hub. All of it.
It's only been 3 days.
Greg and T.
When you're in a weekly step challenge against Jeremy, you walk around everything.
Oh man.
Everyone just kind of make some hands so that I can see this in the video easily. So I know where the cut is.
You
Okay.
just hear my hands breathing right there.
Oh, the auditory. Oh, TCGs, man.
What, really?
Oh, no. Guys.
His mother was an ER nurse because he immediately came out to her and said, "I'm peeing blue." He peed blue for 3 days. Sorry.